Well, all right. So how do I know my beliefs need changing?
Well, it's simple. You just got to look at your results. Are you happy with where you are in life? Are you happy with your relationships, your finances, your job? If you are, then you don't need to change any of your beliefs. But if you're not happy with those things, then you need to change something. And it starts with...
Welcome to the Middle-Aged and Miserable podcast.
And please like and subscribe so you never miss another episode. And please leave us a 5-star review so we can reach more people with this content.
Lovely.
All right, Pat.
Chris.
Your life,
My
your
life.
results in life are based off your beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Right.
Okay, this can be difficult to swallow but and understand, but we're going to go through that today.
Go on, I'm going with you. I'm with you.
All right,
Yeah.
so if you're experiencing great success,
Right.
great relationships,
Yeah.
financial abundance, it's because of your beliefs.
Right.
If you're not experiencing great success, great relationships, and you've got financial troubles, it's because of your beliefs. And I think we should go through why this is today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We should also probably talk about ways that you can begin to identify how you're being held back and how to change it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with the beginning. Like, what is a belief?
All right. Well, it's, for me anyway, a belief is something that you feel certain about beyond any doubt, and something that you feel is absolutely true to your core. Like, for example, you might believe that, which is a fairly common one, you need to work hard in order to succeed.
Yeah. Have you got that one?
I think I used to have that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think
I mean, I'm not saying we don't work hard now, but to connect, you have to work hard in order to succeed. I'm much more of the philosophy now, work smart as well in order to succeed. But the harder you work, the more success you've got. I think that was a core belief I used to have, and we've worked on that. I've had to work on that to get rid of that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could have other beliefs of, I don't know, you might believe that all rich people are corrupt, or you might believe that it's impossible to excel in your marriage, your job, and your fitness or something.
I know people that believe that rich people are corrupt. It's an automatic connection. And
it's a problem,
a belief,
because if you do believe that at your core, you don't want to be corrupt.
Right.
So you don't want to be rich.
That's it.
Okay, so we kind of talked about this before, but this is something they teach you in NLP, but beliefs are formed in the very young years. There's the imprinting years, 0 to 3, and then there's the modeling years between 3 and 7. So it's hard to believe that, but most of your beliefs are set by 7.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Isn't it?
And inevitably at that age, you're getting everything that you believe in, which you hold true to this day, comes from your parents.
Yeah.
Like that modeling example you're talking about. So if you've grown up in an environment, in a household where there's messages coming through, like there's a lack of money in the world, it's finite, it could leave you with the core belief that you might not realize is there, that there isn't an abundance of money in the world. It is finite. And if I'm taking money from somebody else, so if I'm getting more money, then I'm depriving somebody else of that money in the world, and that can be construed as unethical, and you don't deserve to have that money in that case. And those are core beliefs that a lot of people have got.
Yeah, you're talking about, that's zero-sum thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There is this amount of money.
Right. But it's not the case.
If you've got that, someone else hasn't got their bit.
Yeah, and you grow up thinking like that as a kid, and it sticks with you in your core.
Yeah, and then you got other classic ones like money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, we've all heard that.
Yeah. Yes, which can work against you later on. So so that's from our parents, but we also get experiences early in life, right?
Yeah. Like there's speaking of experiences, I remember we were talking to a friend of ours who had experienced the trauma of her parents losing their home.
Yeah.
When she was a kid growing up, and she carried that with her. Such a strong belief that now basically money leaves you, and you need to hold on to it tight. You need to protect it. You need to hoard it, and that's a core belief that she's held and that she's been programmed into her from her experience as a child.
Yeah. always believing that money will leave her.
And she needs to hold on to it and protect it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to change that when you don't realize it's deeply embedded in your core belief system.
Yeah. So when we say that core belief system, that's it's in our unconscious mind.
Yeah. Totally.
And so that means it's programming, and that means the unconscious mind is weird. It works on because it just works on survival.
Right.
So it just cares about what's survivable. It doesn't, if a lack of money,
how we've evolved,
like with that
it?
example you just said, if a lack of money has been survived earlier in her childhood,
right.
Even though it's not ideal, it's survivable. So the unconscious mind wants more of that. That's safety. That's survivable.
Yeah.
And maybe having money, there's a slight potential it's not survivable.
But that's an unknown, isn't it?
It's an unknown. So it wants what's survivable. It's weird. It's weird when you think about it.
It's a weird way of thinking about it, but it works that way.
Yeah. And then it validates these beliefs. So you've got this belief that money loses, it disappears from me.
Right,
so then you have the reticular activating system of that person, the RAS filter, validates them, finds it more evidence of that.
Like you've got, if you believe fundamentally, because that's how you've kind of grown up, if you believe that all people who are rich are evil or corrupt, then your reticular activating system is going to filter for evidence that confirms that shows you, hey, look at that rich person. He's corrupt. He's evil. And it's going to ignore and filter off all of the evidence that is there in plain sight that, well, rich people can be charitable, can be kind. It's not necessarily the case, but you don't see any of that because you filtered it off.
It's weird because we're talking about a lot about money here, but in any belief, it doesn't matter if it's true or it's not true, or if those beliefs empower you or don't empower you. The unconscious mind just takes it as true.
It's true, actually. Yeah, it's that Henry Ford quote, isn't it? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right either way.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they're all in your unconscious mind. They're formed really early. And then your RAS filter is going out and validating them.
Yeah, because it's all true as far as that's concerned.
Even if it's a pack of lies. So,
that's true.
Yeah, so the system's working regardless.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to how this affects your life, right? Because I think this is the hard bit to swallow. Cool. You could consciously think to yourself, I deserve to earn more money. I'm in my 50s. I'm at the point in my life I deserve to earn more money. But we're talking about programming.
Yeah.
You can think it all you want, but if your programming is not changed, somehow you find your way back to what your programming says. So if you believe that you don't deserve a loving partner, we talked a lot about money, but if you don't think you deserve a loving partner, somehow that will elude you, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is really, because it's going on in your subconscious mind. It's really hard to get your head around this phenomenon, because in those conditions, like looking at the relationship example, for example, if you believe that you don't deserve a loving partner, then you're just going to filter. Your mind is filtering all the opportunities off. You're not. You might meet someone, or you might be in a situation where you could potentially meet someone, and you don't either see them, or you do meet someone and you're subconsciously pushing them away, because there's this unconscious element of self-sabotage. Because if you don't feel like you deserve a loving partner and you meet somebody that could be a loving partner, you're going to push them away.
Yeah, and like we all know people that always end up with the wrong guy or the wrong girl, and it's probably down to their programming. They're unconsciously getting what they actually think they deserve deep down. And again, it's this thing about survival. If a child grows up and a parent has alcoholism, it's survivable. Even though it's terrible, it's survivable. And that's why you often find people with drinkers later on in life. They end up with it as a partner, as a drinker, because it's survivable. Yeah. But anyway, so you had
let's go back to money.
Yeah. Go on. Have you got any examples? So
you say you consciously decide that you want to earn more money, because this is it's all going on your unconscious, and I want to try and drum home the point of how this is real. It really happens. If you consciously decide, so I want to earn more money, I want to do something better, but your programming, your belief system, as you've grown up with, it's one that you only deserve a certain amount of money, then and what can happen is as you do earn more money, or as you may get a windfall occasionally, there's going to be bills, there's going to be things that happen that take it away, or you somehow push it away, because at the end of the day, like it or not, we earn what we believe we deserve in our own conscious mind.
Yeah,
and it's a really important concept to grasp.
It happens with lottery winners. Lottery winners.
There you go.
Suddenly get that money and find a way to lose it.
You're right.
And it could look like bad investments, but it happens.
Yeah. Well,
70% of the time, or something I read somewhere.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount, isn't it?
Yeah, so it happens a lot, and it's based off the internal programming and just kind of pushing it away, and this can be hard to buy into. I admit that's got to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so hard because you don't realize you're doing it. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't. Because you're not seeing it happening. You just assume that these circumstances are cropping up and it's happening to me. But no, we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you can probably do something about it.
Yeah. So all of your results basically are telling you about your beliefs, right?
Right. Well, all right. So how do I know my beliefs need changing?
Well, it's simple. You just got to look at your results. Are you happy with where you are in life? Are you happy with your relationships, your finances, your job? If you are, then you don't need to change any of your beliefs. But if you're not happy with those things, then you need to change something. And it starts with identifying your limiting beliefs.
Yeah. There's a lot of examples of that though, as well. Limiting beliefs that everybody's got. Like we have limiting beliefs surrounding what we deserve to earn, who we deserve as a partner, what we deserve to accomplish in life in general, our level of success, as there are limiting beliefs associated with that. I mean, if you're not happy with the results in your life, then you've simply got to change something about what you believe, because you're basically getting what you think you deserve, what you believe you deserve in life.
Yeah, and I think a key to this, to understanding your beliefs, is just self-reflection, asking yourself questions and just begin to think about what you believe. You can tell when you believe something because you feel sure of it in your mind. And like whenever you say, well, that's just the way it is. That's a belief. That's a core belief right there. And so, maybe it's a good idea to think about what are your beliefs around money, and what do you say to yourself? Yeah. If you see a rich person, say, on TV, what do you say? What's your instinct?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
So success is another one that there's people have got limiting beliefs on, and you got to ask yourself, well, around success, what do I believe I'm capable of? What do I believe I can accomplish? And that plays into your comfort zone, because we all have our comfort zone, big or small. And what are your beliefs around taking risks?
Yeah.
Well?
Yeah, or your beliefs around relationships and friendships, and do you believe people can be trusted? Because this all comes from your younger years, and in your upbringing, were you taught by your parents? Your parents have a huge say in what happened to you, and so what did your parents teach you about money? What did your parents say if they saw someone rich on TV? Yeah, we just asked ourselves, what do we think of when we see someone rich on TV? Yeah. Does it match what your parents said?
I think it, to a certain extent, it must do, because I remember, if I think back to when I was growing up, and I remember examples of, I've thought about this a lot actually. Was I growing up in an environment where there was lack of money, and there was thoughts, an attitude of disdain towards the rich people? And I remember, and I think there was an element of that. I'm not saying it was a complete disaster, because I actually turned out all right, I think, in the end. Thanks, Mum and Dad. But I think there was an element of that, because I remember hearing, my mum said to me once, or commented when there was a rich guy on TV, and she said, I bet he never wears the same pair of socks twice. And that phrase somehow, as a kid, stuck with me.
Yeah.
And that cements limiting beliefs in that kind of stuff.
Maybe you want to get into a position where you never have to wear the same pair of socks twice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
My mum would always say, if there was a lottery winner or someone rich on TV, she'd always say, that's too much.
But there you go, it's a similar thing.
I still remember, I can hear her
Yeah.
saying it now. It's still sort of in my head. That's too much.
Yeah.
You know, that's too much when we've got this and they've got that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just in general, it's interesting just to think about what kind of mindset did your parents instill into you as a child, and what phrases have stuck with you. We got a couple there we've stuck with us. I think in general from my parents, I got this work ethic thing,
right.
this thought that you must work hard for money.
Yeah.
And I was all right with that. I always did work hard for money.
Yeah.
And still do to an effect. But then there is a stage when you become a business person and you're moving to a point where you want to earn money while you sleep, and then it can be working against you.
That's
so
true,
you have
actually.
to work on
That's
it.
a good point. That is, and I think I'd grown up with hardworking parents.
Yeah.
And even though that message of, hey, they've never once said to me, oh, you need to work hard for money, it was a behavior of my parents that I observed as growing up as a kid, that the message I got from that was I also need to work hard to be successful. And we've worked hard on disconnecting that.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, that's a good point, because we've talked about modeling your parents. It doesn't necessarily mean taking what they said and remembering it. It's following their actions. Yeah.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
All right. So we basically just talked about self-reflection and questions, didn't we?
Right. Yeah.
We've got it's a good thing to start thinking about what you believe, how you were brought up, and what were you told by your parents? Because all this happened so young.
Yeah. Because you've got to be aware of your beliefs, and that's the first step. Because you just by making yourself aware of them isn't going to change anything. It's the first step in the process, isn't it? Because it won't last. I'm aware of my limiting beliefs. You've got to do something about it to change it. You've got to change your programming deep inside. And there's ways to do that, because I know there's ways to do that because we've done it.
Yeah.
We've worked on ourselves and been able to change some of our core limiting beliefs.
Yeah, and it can be done using NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which specifically targets this programming that you've got in your unconscious mind. You can do it with hypnosis as well. We're trained in both of those.
Right.
So we're going to talk about both of those subjects in upcoming episodes. But in the meantime, if anyone's out there that wants more information on coaching and removing limiting beliefs using NLP, then they can feel free to contact us on our Instagram, which is @PatandChris.
Yeah.
All right. Should we summarize what we talked about?
Let's talk about this.
What do we talk about, Pat?
So I like that phrase. So if you're experiencing, I'm going to labor this a little bit because it's important. If you're experiencing great success and great relationships and financial abundance, then it's because you have a set of beliefs that have driven you to that.
Yeah.
But if you're not, it's because you've had a set of beliefs that have driven you to that as well. It's
weird,
the same.
Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing we talked about is how our beliefs form at such an early age from our parents, and most beliefs are set and in place by the age of 7.
Yeah, and we've all got limiting beliefs. They are deeply buried in our unconscious minds, and they are all automatic. They're going on behind the scenes, and it's part of our programming.
Yeah. So start to think about and become aware of your beliefs. What do you have in your head? Turn your radar on, do some self-evaluation, and just think about your upbringing and what your parents taught you and what you experienced growing up.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe so you never miss another episode. Also, check out our social media content for more ways to avoid being middle-aged and miserable.